Hi, this is Anna Lakshmi, Assistant Professor, Department of Mathematics, Sakti College of Arts and Science for Women, Ottanchitram. In this video, we will discuss the Vogel approximation method. Let's see. Vogel approximation method is an improved version of least-count method. It has some steps. Step 1. For each row or column with positive demand, calculate the penalty by subtracting the smallest unit cost element in the row from the next smallest unit cost element in the same row. Step 2. In this stage, we have 5 things. First one, identify the row or column with largest penalty. Second thing, break ties arbitrarily. Third one, allocate as much as possible to the variable with the least unit cost in the selected row or column. Fourth one, cross out the satisfied row or column. Fifth one, if a row and column are satisfied simultaneously, only one of the two is crossed out. Next, step 3. If exactly one row or column with zero supply or demand remains uncrossed out, then stop. Second thing, if one row with positive supply remains uncrossed out, determine the basic variables in the row by the least cost method and stop. Third one, if all the uncrossed out row and column have remaining zero supply or demand, determine the zero basic variables by the least cost method and stop. Otherwise, go to step 1. Now we see the example. Here we have 3 sources and 4 destinations problem. 3 sources have 3 different capacities and 4 sources have 4 different demands. We start this problem before we check this problem is balanced or unbalanced. Balanced means sum of capacity is equal to sum of demand. Now we check it. So here capacity is 7, 9, 18. So 7 plus 9 plus 18 is equal to 34. And demand 5, 8, 7, 14. So that means 5 plus 8 plus 7 plus 14 is equal to 34. So here this problem is balanced. So we go to step 1. First, we find out the row penalty as well as column penalties. So first row, first smallest element 10, next smallest element 19. So row penalty 9. Second row, first smallest element 30, second smallest element 14. So difference 10. Third row, first smallest element 8, second smallest element 20. So the difference is 12. As well as column, first smallest element 19, second element 40. So difference 21. Second column, first smallest element 8, second one 30. So difference 22. Third column, first smallest element 40, second one 50. So difference 10. Fourth column, first smallest element 10, second one 20. So difference is 10. Next, we find the largest element in the penalty. So largest element means 22 is the largest element in step 1. So 22 occurs in second column. So we select second column. Then we check the smallest element in that particular column. So we find it 8 is the smallest element in that particular column. So we select it. Then we check the corresponding capacity and supply. So demand is 8 and capacity is 10. So 8 satisfies 18. So we put 8 in that particular cell. Then we subtract it. 18 minus 8 is equal to 10. So now demand is 0. So we cross off this second column. Next, step 2. Now we have 3 rows and 3 columns table. Again we find out the row penalty as well as column penalty. Now the first smallest element 10, second one 19. So difference 9. Second row smallest element 40, second one 60. So the difference is 20. Third row, the first smallest element 20, second one 40. So difference is 20. As well as first column, first smallest element 20, first smallest element 90, second one 40. So difference is 21. Second column, the first smallest element 40, second one 50. So difference 10. third column, that means D4. Okay, so first smallest element 10, second one 20, so difference is 10. Again we check the largest element in the penalties. So 21 is the largest element, 21 occur in the first column. Then we check the smallest element in that particular column. So 19 is the smallest element, so we select that particular cell. Again we check the corresponding capacity and demand. So now capacity is 7, demand is 5. So 5 satisfies 7, so 5 we put that particular cell. Then we cancel it. So 7 minus 5 is equal to 2. Now demand is 0, so we cross off the first column D1. Next, now we get 3 rows, 2 columns. 3 rows means S1, S2, S3, and 2 columns means D3 and D4. Again we find the penalties. So row penalty, first smallest element 10, second one 50, and difference is 40. Second row, first element 40, second one 60, so difference 20. Third row, first smallest element 20, second one 70, so difference is 50. As well as column, first column smallest element 40, second one 50, so difference 10. Second column, first smallest element 10, second one 20, so difference 10. Now we check the largest penalty. So the largest penalty is 50. 50 occur in the third row. Then we find out the smallest element in that particular row. So 20 is the smallest element in that particular row. So we select that cell and we check it, the corresponding supply and demand. So corresponding supply is 10, demand is 14. So 10 satisfies the 14. So you put 10 in that particular cell and cancel it. 14 minus 10 is equal to 4. Now capacity is 0, so we cross off the third row, S3. Again we get 2 row and 2 column. So 2 row means S1, S2, 2 column means D3, D4. Again we find the row penalties. So first row penalty 40, second row penalty 20. As well as column penalty, first column penalty 10, second one 50. So the largest element of the penalty is 50. 50 occur in the fourth column, that means D4. Then we find out the smallest element in that particular column. So 10 is the smallest element. So 10 is the smallest element. So you select that particular cell. Again you check the corresponding supply and demand. Supply is 2, demand is 4. So 2 satisfies 4. So you put 2 in that particular cell and then cancel it. So 4 minus 2 is equal to 2. Now capacity is 0. So you cross off the first row. Now you get only 1 row and 2 column. That means S2 row and D3, D4 column. So again you check the row difference, it's not necessary. So you find only the smallest element in that particular row. So 40 is the smallest element, so you put the priority for 40. So you select that particular cell and check the corresponding supply and demand. Supply is 9 and demand is 7. So 7 satisfies 9. So you put 7 in that particular cell. Then you cancel it. 9 minus 7 is equal to 2. Now you have only one cell, that means S2 D4 cell. So now you check the corresponding supply and demand. So supply is 2, demand is also 2. So you put 2 in that particular cell. Now you check the corresponding occupied cells. In this problem we have 6 occupied cells and you find the formula, trim conditions. So m plus n minus 1. So m plus n minus 1 is equal to 3 rows and 4 columns. So m is equal to 3, n is equal to 4. So 3 plus 4 minus 1 is equal to 6. And you have the 6 occupied cells. So number of occupied cells is equal to m plus n minus 1 is equal to 6. That means we reached the initial basic feasible solutions. So now we find the total cost. Is it equal to only you take the occupied cells. So 19 into 5 plus 10 into 2 plus 40 into 7 plus 60 into 2 plus 8 into 8 plus 20 into 10. Totally 779. Thank you.